Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this new video we are going to implement a basic clientless SSL VPN using ASDM, but in this video we are going to actually use GNS3. So for those that have GNS3, you can go ahead and follow me on this video. So you will need an ASA, you will need the TACACS GUI that I have here installed, and you need this other appliance that is called web term, this one over here, and then you need this one which is called EHLERS web Java, and you can get that easily. So that's what we're going to need, and we're also going to need a router, of course. So let's go ahead and start configuring this. So what I want to configure is I want this firewall right here that um, I want to build a SSL clientless connection, which means clientless means that whoever is going to connect to me is not going to need Cisco AnyConnect. Therefore, it is a clientless, right? And what I want to configure is I want to anybody from outside that has the username and password to log into my ASA. I want to build an SSL, right? I want it to be encrypted. I want that traffic to be encrypted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to then add a username and password. So we're going to log in from the outside. We're going to allow the outside so they can log into my firewall. And then I'm going to create a profile here. They're going to log into the profile, and then I'm going to give in a bookmark so they can access this TACACSGUI and configure that TACACSGUI from the outside, and so they can be protected with SSL. So let's go ahead and start with this video. It's going to be a really not that long video, but it's going to be a little bit long because I'm going to configure everything basically from scratch. So let's go ahead and start with that configuration. It's going to be fun, guys. So make sure to pay attention. If you have any questions, you go ahead and leave me a question and I can answer it for you. Maybe I could make a video to explain it better. So let's go ahead and start with the ASA. So the first thing that you need to do, you have to go to the ASA, enable the password is there's no password here. You have to config T. So what you need to do is you need to configure this interface right here, 10.10.10.1, IP address 10.10.10.1/24, now shut down. And you need to give it a name if inside. Okay, so you want this to be the inside. Um, and then since this one is the inside already, this means that it is the trusted network. This one over here, Gigabit 00. And after that, you need to go ahead and exit. You need to go to HTTP server and enable that server. Then HTTP, and you want to um, do a IP address that you want to allow, I believe. Let me see if I remember correctly. So HTTP 10.10.10.2, which is this one over here. Um, or actually, what if you do HTTP? Can you not do inside? Let's just do it like this. So anybody coming from the inside can have access to it. So what I'm doing is I'm letting anybody coming from the interface inside is allowed to access the HTTP. So that's what I'm telling it right there. So that's what you need to do. So that is done now. We need to go ahead and turn on this one over here. And after you turn it on, you're going to go ahead and start it. And you're going to need VNC for this one. It doesn't work with Telnet. If you have it with Telnet, you're gonna have to. It's gonna keep rebooting, and it won't let you do anything. And then we're gonna open the terminal. And from the terminal, we are going to configure the interface 0 with an IP address of 10.10.10.2 net mask. This is Linux, that's why you got to do it like this, 255.255.255. And then we're going to add a route, default gateway. Default route is going to be 10, 10, 10, 1. Actually, default, I forgot the GW right here. There we go. And now we should be able to ping. We should be able to, we should be able to ping the ASA. There we go. So we are able to ping the ASA um, from this appliance over here. And now since we are able to ping, we should be able to launch the ASDM, right? So you need to put the IP address right here, which is 10, 10, 10, 1. Click OK. Always trusted, say yes. And since we do not have any username and password configured, you can just go ahead and leave it like that because we did not configure any username and password. That's fine, but that is not secured, but it's okay. It is now That's now the purpose of what we're doing right here. We're trying to build an uh, a VPN, clientless SSL VPN, and we are going to do that later. So since we have this all fired up, let's go ahead and put it down. So we have that connection with the ASA and the ASDM. So now let's go ahead and configure this interface right here. Let's go back to the ASA interface gigabit 0 slash 1 2, and we have to configure an IP address of 10 10 21. Now shut down. We're going to name if DMZ. Okay. So after you name that the DMZ, what we need to do, let's go ahead and exit out of here, and let's go do a name question mark 10 10 22, and I want to name this tag GUI. So the TACACSGUI, that's what I want to name it. Let's go ahead and end it. So this is a DNS that we just add over here, DNS name. So 10.10.22 is going to be equal to tag GUI. So let's go ahead and configure this tag as GUI. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. Double click on it, and this also needs VNC, because if you don't have VNC, it won't work. And right now it's showing a little bit too small for my liking. Let's give it 1 second. And what that is going on, let's go ahead and configure interface gigabit 0 slash 1, config D, interface gigabit 0 slash 1, which is the outside network, the untrusted network. And this one's going to have an IP address of 145.1.1.1, 255.255.255.0. Now shut down, and then do a name if it's going to be internet, which is the outside network. There we go. Let's go ahead and end it. And let's go back to that GUI. And now it is showing too small. I don't like it. Let's go ahead and double click it again. There we go. That's better. So this is the appliance of the TACACS GUI. And let's see, I forgot what was the login to it. I believe it was, let me see if I'm able to log into it. I believe it was root and 1234. There we go. So the login is root and the password is 1234 to log into the TACACS GUI. And I'm going to add a link for every single appliance that I use so you guys can download it and do everything I'm doing. And then let's go ahead and configure an IP address. Ifconfig ETH0. This one is going to be 10.10.20.2. Net mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. Then it's got a route add default gateway, right? We're going to add a default gateway. Um, it's going to be 10.10.20.1, which is the default gateway, which is going to be this one right here. And now we should be able to ping 10.10.21, which is the ASA. There we go. So we have connectivity with the ASA. So that is great. Let's go ahead and end that. Now, what we need to do, since we have connectivity right here, and we configure this interface right here, that's good. So we are done. Um, well, we're not done yet with the ASA. We need to go ahead and configure a static route. There we go. So we need to add a route to the internet, and it's going to be this one. And the next hop is going to be 145.1.1.2, which is this router over here that we're going to configure in a little bit. So that's done. So let's go ahead and end it. And now we should be able to ping also 10.10.20.2, which is that GUI. And we also should be able to ping it by the name that I've configured, which is TACACSGUI. TACACSGUI. There we go. So I'm able to ping it by its name and also by its IP address. So that's good. And we have configured that router. We have configured that ASA. So we are done with the ASA. Now let's go ahead and open the router. And on the router, we need to configure interface gigabit 0 slash 0, which is the one going to the ASA. Let's go ahead and configure a IP address of 145.1.1.2. Now shut down. Um, so that is configured right there. And now we should be able to ping the ASA 145.1.1.1. There we go. So we are able to ping that ASA. So we are looking good. Now let's go ahead and configure gigabit 01 interface gigabit 0 slash 1 IP address of 10.10.30.1. Now shut down. And this is the interface that goes to this Firefox um, browser over here. So this has been configured, so that's good. So now let's go ahead and start this bad boy up, open it up. And this one also uses on VNC. Make sure that you have VNC installed, otherwise it won't work. So now what we need to do is let's go ahead and go to the terminal, and from the terminal configure the IP address ifconfig, and you need to give it a ETH0 10.10.30.2 net mask of 24/24, and then we are going to add a route, add default gateway, which is 10.10.30.1. Now we should be able to ping our router over here. So let's go ahead and ping that 10.10.30.1. There we go. We are able to ping our router. We should also be able to ping 145.1.1.1, which is the ASA. So we're able to ping the ASA, and we should also be able to ping this IP address gigabit 00, of course. There we go. So everything is good. We have connection everywhere. So now since we have connection everywhere and everything is working correctly, let's go ahead and run this Firefox over here. That's good. And now what we need to do is configure the ASA, ASDM. So let's go ahead and go to the ASDM. We can just go ahead and refresh. It gave me that message because I configured the ASA and it just wanted to refresh so we can have the latest update on this ASA. And you can see that we have configured 3 interfaces, the DMC, the inside, and the internet. So everything is good. Now let's go ahead and go to the wizards and go ahead and configure clientless SSL VPN. And from over here, click next. And the profile that we want to do is clientless. Let's call it clientless one. And the SSL VPN interface that you want to configure is the internet, right? Because we want this outside browser to be able to connect to the ISA using this SSA clientless VPN. And the IP address that we're going to use to get to this SSL VPN service is going to be 145.1.1.1, which is this IP address over here, okay? So we're going to leave everything as a default. Just make sure that you configure the internet interface. Go ahead and click next. And we're not going to configure any TACACS group. So we're going to authenticate with a local account. I already configured one, but I want to configure another one, which is going to be Cisco, password Cisco as well. And let's go ahead and add it. And now let's go ahead and click next. Let's go ahead and create a new group policy. And this one is going to be clientless underscore policy one. Go ahead and click next. And now let's go ahead and add a bookmark. And what I want to add over here, I want to add my, let's go ahead and just call it new bookmark, new bookmarks. Let's go ahead and add it. And we are going to leave it this one as default, URL get or post method. Click OK. And now the title of the um, bookmark that I want to configure is going to be TACACSGUI 1. Let's go to TACACSGUI 1. And where do you want that bookmark to go? So I want it to go to this TACACSGUI over here. So we have to configure these 10, 10, 21, 10, 10, 20, not 21 because this one is 22. Let's go ahead and change that right here. 22. Let's go ahead and go back. So it's going to be 10, 10, 22. And let's go ahead and click OK. OK to add it. OK. And then let's go ahead and click next. So as you can see right here, we have configured the features for the clientless. The connection name is clientless one. We are doing the SSL VPN interface. It's the internet. User authentication is the local accounts that we're going to use. And we added a new user, which was Cisco, and the password is Cisco. And the group policy that we implemented was clientless policy one, and we added a bookmark list, which is new bookmarks. Let's go ahead and finish. Since that is done, now you can see right here, you need to save it to Flash. There we go. Now that's saved. Now, since that is saved, we have to go to this browser over here, which is in the outside network. And we have to go, and I believe is this one right here, right? Yeah, it is this one. So what we want to do is go ahead to HTTPS 145.1.1.1. And it's going to tell us that it is not secure um, because we don't have a certificate, right? I don't have a certificate. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and click on advanced. It is secure. We just don't have a certificate. This is too big for my liking. This is fine, I guess. Let's go ahead and add an exception, confirm exception, and there we go. So we are now at 45.1.1.1, which is the ASA right here. And now we need to log into Cisco with the username and password Cisco. Let's go ahead and log in. And there you go. And as you can see right here, we have the bookmark that we configure, which is to take us to the TACACS GUI 1. And this one should take us to this GUI over here. And if you go ahead and click on it, it should take you to the TACACS GUI. And there you go. And I forgot what was the login for the TACACS GUI, and I can probably figure that out. TACACS, I forgot what was it. TACACS GUI password GNS3. It's this one over here, this GUI appliance. And for the SSH, for the TACACS web server, it is username TACGUI and password is ABC123. So let's go ahead and, so this one is was a TACGUI and password was ABC123. Don't save. And this one should let us log into this GUI over here. It is waiting, a little bit slow. It's all good. It is transferring data. Let me make sure that I have the username and password correctly. So tag GUI for the web interface and password is ABC123. Go ahead back to GNS3. Go back to the web server. It is still loading. What if we just refresh it? A little bit slow, but it is so good. I mean, so I don't know why it's not taking us there, but as you can see, we were able to configure the ASA clientless, the clientless SSL VPN connection from the outside, and we configure the ASDM with the SSL clientless a clientless SSL VPN connection to try to access that GUI, and we were able to access that GUI. As you can see, the bookmark worked, everything worked. We configured the ASDM using this web underscore Java 1. We configure the router and we configure the GUI and all that good stuff. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and leave me any questions on the description or on the comment below. Go ahead and comment if you have any questions. If you want to know how to set this any of these appliances up, the ASA, the ASDM, the outside, or anything like that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye. But